No!
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an awesome start to your week. Bitcoin, absolutely relentless, refuses to dump. Everyone's saying there has to be a dump. We need a 30% correction. It has to happen. And yet every single day I wake up and the Bitcoin price is just pushing higher and higher and higher. So one of the biggest memes in the crypto space is the 30%, 40% drops for Bitcoin. We've spoken about it multiple times on the channel, but is it possible that we are not actually going to get that 30%, 40% drop this time around? Has the entire landscape for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency changed? Is there just too much interest, too much fundamentals, too many big players getting involved in Bitcoin right now that we might just actually see the price continue to go upwards? We even had a Citibank analyst recently come out saying that he can see a $318,000 Bitcoin by December of next year. And actually, that does sound pretty crazy on the surface, but if you look at it, percentage-wise, that would actually make it the weakest of all of the rallies based on the Bitcoin cycle. So we need to discuss what is happening right now. And I do want to talk about some bullish fundamentals, lots of things going on for Bitcoin. And also another big question is when people do finally get into Bitcoin again at the all-time high after we hit the 20K level and everybody rushes in, how long is it until they realize that Bitcoin has to go to 40K for them to double their money? What will this mean for altcoins, and is now a good time to be accumulating? Well, I do think there are a lot of projects that are probably not going to recover. However, I think there are a lot of opportunities springing up right now in the DeFi space if you know where to look. And I'm also going to share two of those projects today. One of them I think could easily 5 to 10x within the next couple weeks or month even. So I'll definitely share that with you. Obviously, keep in mind, nothing is financial advice. This is just my opinion. We're also giving away a Ledger Nano S at the end of this video. Drop a comment and you are eligible for that giveaway every single week. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Get subscribed, smash the likes, join the free Telegram, or just stick around till the end of the video. Either way, I freaking love you, and let's dive in and have a look at what Bitcoin is doing. So Bitcoin was forming an asymmetrical triangle, which then actually turned into more of an ascending triangle right here. We had the critical resistance of around 15,815. We broke above it. We dipped slightly below the support level right here, and we got bought back up, and now we are once again back on the ascending trend. And it looks like this trend is in fact our friend until the end. Now, having a look right here, we are having a little bit of a hold up at the heart line. I have interpreted this also potentially as a rising wedge. It's kind of a weak rising wedge. It really more is just like an ascending channel. We do know that ascending wedges eventually do end in, downwards price action. We could bounce to the heart line, come up here. We could actually get up to $17,000 potentially before maybe having a retest. But you can see we still have this significant support right here, and that's around the $14,500, $14,700 level. But here's the big question. Now, we did get rejected at this level in the blue box territory. Now, this is over on Coinbase. In order to get above that level, we had to close above 16,178. We didn't. We wicked slightly below it. But now it is the beginning of the week, and we are pumping higher again towards the blue box territory. Now, we have spent virtually no time in this area. Bitcoin has only ever been in this area for less than 3 weeks ever. If we do, in fact, close a week above this, we could see absolute price madness. I mean, we may not even see a pullback. We could just see the price go all the way up to even the 20K level before having any significant reduction in price. Now, before we get too excited, before we get too ahead of ourselves, we do have to look at the futures. The futures has had significant resistance at this purple trend, at this purple line, and that is because that was where we kind of had the resistance before the insane year-long bear market, which I don't want to be reminded about that. Those were not the funnest of times. Great times to accumulate, not great times to have to sit through that price action, right? Well, we are approaching that critical level again. So I am curious to see. We've already been rejected once, exactly. Let's see if we can push through this level again. But like I said, I am looking for this RSI to come back above 85. Currently, right now, we're sitting at around 72. Now, we do know that in previous cycles, once we do break the 85 RSI, RSI, we do see massive Bitcoin rallies that last multiple weeks. Now, we've already had Bitcoin rally for 5 weeks. This is going on the 6th week. How long can we go for? Well, last year we did have a rally that lasted for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on the 8th week, we did have a pullback. So we're already on week 5. Does this mean that week 6, can we actually keep pumping for another 2 weeks? Well, actually, if you go back even more historically in the chart, back to Bitcoin, and this is earlier price action, but back in 2012 and 2013, we actually saw 13 weeks and 11 weeks of solid green candles. So it is uncommon, I should say, to see this many green candles in a row, but it's not impossible, okay? So Bitcoin could continue for another 2 weeks. I mean, I would think at some point we'd have a pullback, but we're really starting to get into that crazy bullish zone, right? Gordon Gecko over here, he says it still looks very good. We're above the second Bitcoin halving scenario today, and with more than 40%, that is significant. We are not in the area of the first Bitcoin halving scenario. That's fine, but here's my mantra again: be patient and hodl until October 2020, price targets of 250,000. Or if you are the Citibank analyst who recently came out and said that we're going to 318,000 by December of 2021, you're even more bullish on Bitcoin. So this was technical analysis that was prepared by CitiFX for its institutional clients. So this is what they're sending out to their clients. And they're telling them that they're seeing a $318,000 Bitcoin. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I know, but listen to this for a second, okay? Describing Bitcoin as the 21st century gold, the analyst Tom Fitzpatrick looks back at the long-term trend of Bitcoin, characterized by its unthinkable rallies and then its painful corrections. However, the 3 major bullish periods of Bitcoin so far have been increasing in length. There was a 10-month run from 2010 to 2011, followed by a 2-year run from 2011 to 2013, followed by a 3-year run from 2015 to 2017. So he's actually suggesting, a lot of people, we look at these 4-year cycles saying, okay, 2021, December, that's the top. But according to him, he says that the next bull run could potentially extend even into 2022, since each time the runs get longer and longer. It could be argued that such an extended bull run would lead to even higher levels, and charting what looks like a very well-defined channel over the past several years gives him his prediction. I don't have the chart pulled up right now. You can look at his thing he posted, but it does show that we're headed to $318,000 Bitcoin by 2021, and he thinks that the rally could even continue into 2022, which means that Bitcoin could actually surpass even all of our price predictions, higher than, my original predictions, higher than Plan B's predictions. It could really shock the world. And if you consider the just continuous printing of money, the Federal Reserve's monetary policy, that basically happened around the time the pandemic hit. This was characterized by vast and sustained increase in new money production, with less intention to constrain this once the economy and employment picks up again. And the thing that you really got to look at is that, like I said, this would be actually the weakest rally that Bitcoin has had from its, lows to highs. It would only be about 102 times. And although that sounds crazy, each one we've had before this has actually been higher. So that's looking actually at a lowball percentage increase. So I know it sounds crazy, but when Bitcoin was $10, $1,000 seemed crazy. When Bitcoin was $1,000 back in January of 2017 and it hit 20K at the end of the year, that was crazy. So is 100K, 200K, 300K, is it actually crazy? It seems like a big number, but when you consider the amount of money that could potentially inflow into Bitcoin, it's still a very small percentage. It's still smaller than the market cap of gold, right? Let's talk about something else that could bolster the Bitcoin price. The value of global negative yielding debt, as far as the index from Bloomberg and Barclays, is now at a record level of 17.05 trillion, surpassing its previous lifetime high. In fact, it doubled in just the past 8 months. So they say this towering stockpile of bonds yielding negative returns is said to be an incentive for investors and corporations to pour their money into Bitcoin or into something to hedge against the inflation. And we've seen this time and time again with multiple. We have Michael Saylor, we have Square, we have Druckenmiller, now co-founder and chairman of the large US messaging platform Intercom, Egan McCabe. He also says he's hopped on the Bitcoin bandwagon. He didn't disclose how much he bought, but he did say that he was listening to a podcast between Anthony Pompliano and the CEO of Parallax Digital, Robert Breedlove, and that is apparently what pushed him over the edge. And we are just seeing every single day more and more traditional finance, dinosaur, Wall Street, whatever you want to call these guys, they are hopping on the Bitcoin bandwagon. In fact, in a recent interview, Kyle Davies, the co-founder of Singapore-based hedge fund management 3 Arrow Capital, talked about why he's so bullish on Bitcoin right now. He says there's no clear catalyst for anything outside of Bitcoin right now. And we're actually going to get to this in a bit with DeFi, because he does say that he thinks DeFi can do well. There is a lot of innovation happening there, but he thinks that for now, Bitcoin seems destined to do much better than Ethereum. That's interesting. Or other altcoins. Is Ethereum really still an altcoin? I mean, I know it's by definition an altcoin, but can't Ethereum just be Ethereum by now? I feel like at this point, it's really held that number 2 spot for so long, give credit where it's due. But he says one of the important things to remember is that the liquidity is important for especially big players, right? These smaller caps, they don't really have that liquidity. You can kind of get locked in and it's hard to, move your funds around. But he says if people believe that alts can move more than Bitcoin, then they'll start to move away from it, even irrationally so sometimes, right? Like, that's what I said. If people get in and they get in at 20K Bitcoin and then they go, oh, wow, Bitcoin has to go to 40K, but this altcoin, has, room to 10x, 20x, 50x, they might get into that. But he says you have to remember that large investors don't really want to hold a lot of illiquid things. So that's why we might continue to see the Bitcoin push, right? But big question, is DeFi dead? Should we be giving up on DeFi? Well, maybe not exactly, because what I think happened was I think we had a crazy DeFi bubble. I think we had a lot of projects that came out, a lot of promises, yield, APY through the roof, right? And now you're seeing us focus on the change. And what I'm focusing on specifically is how we can bring DeFi to the masses. Okay, great. We have DeFi. It exists. Awesome. But can we use it? Can the average person get into DeFi? And that's where I'm focusing my attention on. In fact, you have Aaron Arnold from Altcoin Daily. He says what's most interesting to me was in early to mid-September when all the prices started going down, the metrics only continued to increase. This is total DeFi users over time, but you can go to individual projects and see the same. And just having a look at DeFi Pulse, even though we did have a little bit of a pullback, we do continue to see overall the total value locked in DeFi slowly grinding away and grinding away. Meanwhile, we did see a lot of projects lose value. Bitcoin is definitely in the spotlight, definitely leading the way, but we need to pay attention to these projects. In fact, in my previous video, I talked about a project that I'm very interested in, and this is CyberFi. Now, this is what I'm talking about. The internet, right? It's an awesome tool, but what really made the internet usable? It was those applications. It was the websites. It was the ease of use. You ever seen those early videos from the 1970s and 80s of like how to send email? It's like an 8-step process. Now I just click my email app, I type, and I send an email, right? And this is what I'm focused on. If DeFi is going to survive and it's going to be something that we're all going to be using, we need to create that sort of interface. And I think that CyberFi is definitely going to be doing that. You see, I talked about this in my video 2 days ago, check it out. But like I said, they're doing a multi-product ecosystem of automation products, and it's really just going to make it a lot easier for users to get into the space, right? They're going to have these different cross-chain automations between different blockchains. They also have LP tokens available for automation through visual programming interface. And yeah, guys, the other thing too, not only to mention, and like I said, check my video that I put out, my previous video, I talk about this more, but have a look at this market cap, guys, under $1 million right now for this project, CyberFi. This is extremely under the radar. And for me, this is an easy 5x potential 10x project. There's no reason why this project, especially once they start building, couldn't actually, get up to a 10 million valuation. I mean, their fully diluted valuation right now is 5.4. So yeah, I think these guys have a lot of room to grow. And like I said, in the same vein of looking for products that make it easier to use crypto. Now, this is not a first, okay, as far as cross-chain atomic swaps. We've seen it with barter decks and other things like that. I've seen it before. But like I said, how many of you out there are actually using it? How many people out there are actually using atomic swaps right now? Probably not that many. Probably only a handful. Well, what Coin is doing is look at first of all, they say you can't hack an exchange that doesn't actually hold any funds. And we're not talking about representations. We're not talking about wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped this. We're talking about actual atomic swaps, right? So these guys are looking to launch an extremely user-friendly crypto interface. You can see it's cross-chain, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ERC20 tokens, non-custodial, an honest, true DEX, also anonymity, the utmost privacy, no KYC or user data is stored. You can stake also and earn their coin by providing liquidity to the network. It will be also in the form of a browser extension. I'm sure you're all very familiar with using MetaMask, revenue sharing, AI assistant. They will have their own native wallet as well. And look at this beautiful, I mean, obviously I haven't tried the product yet. It's not out yet. Maybe it's out in some kind of a beta form that I've yet to see, but you could see the beautiful, sleek interface that they're going for. And this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. You can just type in like a Google search, exchange 5 Bitcoin for ETH, and boom, it pops up. It knows what you're talking about. They're calling it the Grammarly for crypto, okay? So, and look at this compared to some of these other Uniswap, Kyber, Banker, Dex, Coinbase, Binance. Look at all this. AI-powered assistant, cross-chain, P2P, non-custodial, anonymous, atomic swap, on-chain settlement, staking support, revenue sharing. Oh, and not to mention the fact that they have a pretty incredible team. You have, first of all, the CEO, 20 years... a 20-year technologist and 16-year Microsoft alumni. And then you also have the CTO, 23 years technologist and 8-year Microsoft alumni. And you might be saying like, oh, great, good for them. They're, Microsoft alumni. But what does Microsoft do? They focus on software. They focus on user experience, user interface. And in my opinion, that's what we need in crypto. So Coin actually isn't even out yet, guys, just to let you know. They are actually doing this is actually over on TrustSwap, which is pretty cool. So they will be doing this sale. If you are interested, you can check out the offering, 9 a.m., 19th of November PST. But yeah, I mean, regardless, this product, if it actually does deliver, this could literally be that groundbreaking sort of DeFi app that, we've all been waiting for, and Uniswap is great, right? But it does lack. There are a lot of features lacking. Maybe in version 3.0, it'll be better. But yeah, and another thing moving forward is we're also seeing these non-fungible tokens get really, really popular, right? We're seeing, some of these NFTs, some of this crypto artwork was selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Absolutely insane. And now we have KuCoin aiming to enter the non-fungible token market as its liquidity trading platform PULLBACK is going to open deposits of NFTs. And this is starting November 16th. So this is going to be designated specifically for just NFTs. This could be the next evolution of crypto. And also, just wanted to mention our good old buddies over at IoTex. They do have this UCAM that you can purchase. This is, I think, either the first or one of the first really blockchain products available on Amazon. And now they're actually integrating with their token, the IoTex token, in a burn drop sort of tokenomics redesign. So basically, for every new device that gets registered with the IoTex network, like the UCAM or the Pebble, whatever it is, burn drop is going to directly reward long-term stakers, reducing the supply of IoTex over time and provide funding plus network incentives to onboard new powered by IoTex devices. So burn drop rewards long-term stakers every time an IoTex device is registered with dividends that are dropped directly into the staking buckets, and you can earn up to 15% in phase 1 of burn drop. And this is still ongoing until the 23rd of this month. So definitely check that out if you haven't. And also just want to end on gonna go back to Bitcoin just for one more second. So we all remember Jay Clayton, right? he came out, chairman of the SEC, he came out and said Bitcoin investors, he said to Bitcoin investors last year that they would be sorely mistaken in expecting that Bitcoin could be traded on mainstream exchanges without more robust regulation in place. Well, it looks like he actually is looking to resign from his position earlier than planned. Why is he resigning? I don't really know, but we did hear about the potential hiring of a very crypto-friendly advisor if the Biden administration is the administration that really won after all the crazy voter stuff that's been going on. I'm not going to get into that, but regardless, does this have anything to do with that? And if he does step down, does that open the door for a Bitcoin ETF? Let me know what you guys think. Things are getting crazy, getting kind of bullish, but like I said, having a look right here at Bitcoin price, man, we're just chilling at this level, looking for another potential breakout. Now, I still am on the fence about that 30%, 40% pullback, but it seems like we are just having extreme exuberance, nothing but good news, ultimate fundamentals, and even the little bits of bad news really don't seem to be able to affect the Bitcoin price. So this could be it, guys. We could be smack dab in the middle of a historic rally that maybe you and I can't even fathom. Maybe we're going to go even higher than these levels. Who knows? We could get up to $1 million Bitcoin. Who knows what is going to happen this time around? But regardless, what I do know is going to happen is one of you are going to win a Ledger Nano S. So hopping over here, we did have, 5 videos last week, I believe it was. So we have to do this out of 5. Let's generate video number 3. So that is the Bitcoin massive move. Bitcoin's been making a ton of massive moves. So let's give away a Ledger Nano S to a lucky winner. How many comments do we got here? Let's see. 460 unique comments. All right, drum roll please for the Ledger. Maybe. Well, we did have the move, so it wasn't a maybe. But Jay Negriria, you are the winner. Yeah, you have 24 hours to get a hold of me. Maybe I'll be hearing from you. And if not, then I'm going to give the Ledger away to somebody else tomorrow. So you are the winner. You know what to do. Hit me up in the official About section. Let me know what you guys think about the future of DeFi. Do you think that now is a good opportunity to accumulate? Do you think that 50Xs, 100Xs are still possible? Well, like I said, for me, if I'm looking to get into altcoins, I want to get into them very early before they've even had their big moves, which is why you really want to look for those under the radar type gems. And that's why, honestly, for me, I definitely think CyberFi is one to keep your eyes on. Super, super low cap right now. And yeah, coin is not even out yet, but this could literally be a game changer. And they are doing a liquidity token offering with TrustSwap, which I already am a fan of. So that being said, that is it for me, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Smash the likes, get subscribed, or not. Just stopping by, saying hello. Good enough for me. Thank you so much. You guys rock. My name's K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.